everyone, and welcome back guys to a brand new video, and today we are here to talk about the rest of the F1 2017 season, guys. Now obviously the Belgian Grand Prix, the first race after the summer break, does kick off in just a week's time, guys, and looking on to the second half of the season, and I feel, this could be a very, very exciting season. We still really got 3 drivers within a shot of the World Championship, guys. But just like the F1 2018 driver prediction video that I made earlier on in the week, guys, I'm going to try and keep this fairly short, fairly snappy, so sort of just get to the point with it overall. And to talk then, to start off, obviously at the top we've got Sebastian Vettel just 14 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton, guys. And by the end of the season, I think Lewis Hamilton will claw that gap back after the first 2 races. He'll win both with Sebastian Vettel in second, and therefore Hamilton will be tied on points with Vettel. And then I think from then on to the end of the season, Hamilton will pull away a bit of a gap, and I reckon he might just actually be able to wrap up the world title in Brazil with like a 26-point lead over Sebastian Vettel. So like it will sort of be a little bit lucky that he's able to do it there, but I think Lewis Hamilton will win the Drivers' World Championship, guys. Sebastian Vettel, I think, will come through in P2, but I reckon Valtteri Bottas will be a lot closer to him than I think anyone sort of really would have predicted coming into this season, guys. Daniel Ricciardo looking at strong in P4 at the moment with 117 points, just 1 point ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, guys. But towards the second half of the season, I think Kimi Raikkonen will be able to get back up into that 4th place overall. Then we'll see the Red Bulls in 5th and 6th of Ricciardo and Verstappen. The Force Indies, sort of a little bit in no man's land as well. In P7 and P8, I reckon they will both be able to hold on to those results. Further down the order, then Carlos Sainz are looking very, very good in P9 there. I reckon he will probably hold on to that. Sort of again, he's sort of a little bit, he's outperforming his car definitely. So I sort of think, he's got a slightly better car than like the Renault, the Williams, the Haas, and all that. And I think, he's just performing just, sort of prove that as well. So Carlos Sainz, I think, will hold on to a P9 overall. Now, the next team that I wanted to talk about really was sort of Williams. Because obviously into the second half of the season, obviously a lot of teams bring in new cars, the B-Spec cars as they're usually called. And I think Williams will be able to overhaul Nico Hülkenberg, so they will move up into P10 and P11 with, I'm going to predict Lance Stroll to finish the season strong and actually be able to come through ahead of Felipe Massa overall in the standings, guys, with Nico Hülkenberg in P12 just able to fend off the Hasses of Grosjean and Magnussen, who I feel will finish in that order. I'm going to predict Jolyon Palmer to, I reckon the Renault B-Spec car might still actually be quite strong, so I'm going to predict Jolyon Palmer just behind the Haas cars there, and I think P15, P16 overall. Then I'm going to go with Danny Kvyat in the next position. Then I'm going to have to put the McLaren Hondas in P17 and 18, and then last but certainly not least, the Saubers in 19th and 20th overall there, guys. But talking, a little, so that's my predictions to the end of the season, guys. But talking about, sort of now who I think will make big gains and who I think will lose out in the second half of the season. Now, Mercedes, I think the second half of the season on the whole will probably suit their car a little bit more. So I'm going to say, the Mercedes are probably going to have the upper hand over Ferrari during the second half of the season, guys. Red Bull, I think, will make big gains and be a lot closer to Ferrari, but I think it'll sort of just be too little, too late overall in the standings. Force India's B-Spec car, I'm pretty certain they're going to bring another B-Spec car this race, and I reckon it'll be a very, very quick car. I reckon Force India could get a couple of podiums towards the end of the season, guys. If they've got a bit of pace in the bag there, and then maybe see a little bit of bad luck for some of the Red Bulls, Ferraris and Mercedes, I see no reason why Force India can't pick up the pieces, guys, towards the end of the season. Renault, I think they could either make really big gains or sort of just stop development completely and just fall backwards overall in the order. But I think, it's looking quite strong for them as well at this moment in time, guys. Then Williams, I feel sort of will make, a bit of a step forward. Their qualifying pace has been horrific in the last few rounds, guys. So I think, Williams will have to make some big gains towards the end of the season, guys. McLaren Honda, I think it's just going to have to be a write-off season for them, and they're just going to have to focus now on the 2018 season and, sort of just come out the block strong then, and obviously we'll have to wait and see how well they do. Haas, I think, will sort of just they haven't had a strong start to this season, unlike last season. But I think they'll sort of just be able to hold on to where they're at the moment. Toro Rosso will probably remain about where they are overall in the grid, guys. And then I think, you know, Sauber will probably end up right, obviously they are right at the very back of the field anyway, but I think they will end up right at the very bottom, you know, with quite clearly the slowest car overall, guys. But hopefully, you know, you have enjoyed this video. Obviously a very, very short one, you know, sort of trying to get all my points out nice and quickly, guys. But don't forget to leave out your predictions for the end of the F1 2017 season, guys. And I will see you all next time in a brand new video.
Yeah.